What's going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Pretty excited to get my son's baseball game tonight. Colorado Avalanche get to redeem themselves for game 2 of hockey. And I was just thinking about strength. And my neighbor came over, and he is an amazing human being. He's Special Forces, Green Beret in Vietnam. He's been a bodyguard and firearms instructor, sheriff, and just a great guy. You know, just the older SALT generation, the people who, you know, stormed the beaches of Normandy, went over and fought in Vietnam, and the level of strength and courage that he possesses. And he brought me over a K-bar, which is a standard knife given today from the United States government through the Department of Navy to the Marine Corps boots. And it's considered to be one of the greatest knives ever created. And I think it's incredible. The construction, the feel of it. And he actually found one that was not issued by the United States Marine Corps, but was issued for the United States Navy, which there's a story behind that, and it's incredible. And I can't necessarily go into the story. You guys hear that crow? I'm trying to do a show here. You want to shut up? Jeez. Anyway, must be a liberal. But the story behind how he got it is immaterial because it's his story to tell, so I won't try to tell it. But what's amazing is that he came over and just said, hey, I wanted you to have it. I wanted a swabby to have it. And that generation is incredible. And to think about that strength, that outward strength and inner strength that he possesses to do some of the things that he did and saw. And it just reminds me of the K-bar and how strong and resilient it is, and the time and care and patience. I believe the story is that the K-bar was created during the 4th Shanghai Marines and was specially made overseas by a blacksmith. And the Shanghai Marines, American-made, American-based Marines, were over in Shanghai, and they worked with the Shanghai Police Department, and a blacksmith made the K-bar knife and then brought it back stateside when they came back from deployment, and then the United States Marine Corps adopted it. I don't know if that's the truth or not, but it is a great story. And the reason I bring it up is because when I think about the iron, the steel, the sharpened edge, that it constantly reminds me of taking care of your body and your mind and honing yourself to be the best version of yourself that you can be. And we emulate these things in material objects, whether it be a car or whether it be, you know, lifting weights or running or throwing ourselves up against challenges and obstacles in order to give ourselves a trial by fire where everything either hardens in fire or becomes carbon and ash. And when I look at somebody like John Fetterman, and then I look throughout history of the people who have really inspired me, and I look at the strength of Ronald Reagan or Truman or Teddy Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln, and then I look at some of the best athletes in the world, whether growing up with Bruce Jenner and watching what he did as a decathlete in the Olympics, and seeing people like Lynn Swann and Franco Harris and Troy Aikman, Arnold Palmer. And we emulated these people, and we may never have achieved the level of success that they had, and we maybe never even scratched the surface or encroached upon it, but it always gave us a goal of that human beings can really achieve greatness with effort and with constant honing who we are and sharpening that edge of what our potential is. So when I see videos of John Fetterman, and I looked at him in his early career and could hardly put 2 sentences together, and then when he had a stroke, I question if we are really moving forward for progress or if we're going backwards.
We've got breaking news from Capitol Hill. Pennsylvania Democratic Senator John Fetterman just arrived for the first time in nearly 2 months. He waved to folks as he got out of his car, his first time since being hospitalized and receiving clinical treatment for depression. Here's what he had to say.
How you doing, Senator?
Welcome back, Senator.
Senator,
how are you feeling, Senator?
Senator, are you confident you could serve your full 6 years? Great to be back.
It's good to be back, he says. Fetterman was released from Walter.
Celebrating weakness or celebrating a lack of intelligence or character is not what I consider to be progress. It's not just that John Fetterman can't put two sentences together, because some of that very well may be from the stroke. And he may be less of a person when it comes to mental capacity. But my father had 3 strokes, my grandfather had 3 strokes, and I will probably have them too. But I could still, even though the speech was more strenuous for them to create and to get their points across, the intelligence was still there. John Fetterman never had it to begin with. And to listen to him communicate, I don't find it inspiring. I find it sick and pathetic that people are using him. And this man at this point should be receiving the best care possible.
I call to this hearing of the U.S. Senate Subcommittee on Food and Nutrition, Specialty Crops, Organics, and Research to order. Chairwoman Stabenow.
Morning or afternoon.
And Ranking Member Boozman, thank you so much for coming. I thank you for your leadership on this committee, and I look forward to working with you to pass a farm bill. A farm bill that works for small farmers, rural communities, and hungry Americans. I would also like to thank my ranking member, Senator Braun. And I look forward to working closely with you. SNAP is one of the most effective programs to fight hunger and poverty in the country. In my time and effort in IFAS, as the mayor of Braddock to lieutenant governor to now, I have heard from Pennsylvanians about their support for SNAP. Hunger is not a Republican or a Democrat issue. It's all of our issue that we have to take it on. We need to come together and stop playing political games with Americans' access to food. Americans like about Corey Jor from the north to the town of Northeast in Pennsylvania. He tells me that his victim was skimming, which was when somebody stole money and he relied from its SNAP EBT. Mr. Jor is not the first Pennsylvanian I've heard this from. I fear he won't be the last. And I will work in this farm bill to modernize SNAP to work to recipients in the 21st century. I look forward to hearing from you, your witness on this nutrition assistance on the farm bill, and I will now turn to Senator Braun for any opening comments that he would like to make.
And it's not that he dresses in a hoodie and shorts and looks like he's going to a Jimmy Buffett concert when he's actually reporting to represent the constituents. I was raised that you always dress for success. You always dress for the level above you. And if you're going to an interview, you put on a tie and you put on a jacket and a coat. And if you're going to apply for a president position, you should look like the CEO. And if you're going to apply for a district manager position, you should look like a regional, always the position above. And you should always act as if. And when you take all of those things with Fetterman, that he's incapable of doing the simplest of tasks, like performing an opening statement for a hearing or for a meeting of the minds, it makes you question, why is he there? He's not giving anyone any inspiration. He's not taking a child and having them look at John Fetterman and finding him to be a leader or a person who understands his own limits. And the question is, somebody like John Fetterman in his mental capacity and in the state that he is in right now, and his inability to at least take himself seriously, let alone his constituents, you wonder, is this the best person for the job? Is this the best that America has? Is this the person that's going to lead us, who's going to stop the division, is going to take a state like Pennsylvania, which is renowned for the steel and the strength of the Pittsburgh Steelers and some of the biggest factories known to man that fire and forge the buildings that erected to the heavens, the time-honored tradition of the people there? Is that the best we can do? This isn't about Republican. This isn't about Democrat. This isn't the best person for the job. It isn't about strength and weakness, none of those things. It's simply about politics and ensuring that the vote remains a Democrat vote. And unfortunately, that isn't the best thing for Pennsylvania. And it's certainly not the best thing for the Senate. I understand that Dr. Oz also was not the best thing for Pennsylvania. But to keep him there really is an effort in futility, because we've now seen him at his very best. The first day he reports into this session of Congress and in this class, and to come in and say, this is the very best, my first day. I will never look this good, sound this good, have this much energy ever again, because this is my first day. And every day since then, I will try to eclipse what I brought to the table for the American people. If this is the best that John Fetterman has to deliver, dare I say that we can do better. Thanks for watching the Donut Unfriend Me Show. Please stop by tomorrow. We have a recorded show and live show, 8 o'clock. Come by and see us. Also, you can stop by the Donut Unfriend Me Show. Pick up cool shirts like this at thedumbshow.com. Please make sure you follow, like, share, and subscribe. God bless, and I will see you all tomorrow.